Hey guys, and welcome to my next edition of my miniature polymer clay. This is a Halloween inspired Medusa in a serving plate. First you need to cut a circle of white clay using anything you have laying around, about 6 centimeters in circumference, diameter, 6 centimeters along the middle. I found this in a cheap store. I think it's a hose ring or a clamp or something. If you want a rim on the edge of your serving plate, just grab your ball tool, a medium-sized one is fine, and push out the edge so that it's flat a little bit, so that it will turn into a rim when you raise the bowl up. I just smooth it out here with the ball tool just to try and make it a little bit flatter. And there was a little air bubble in my clay there. Now carefully grab your knife or anything similar to that and lift it up. And grab another bit of white clay. It needs to be a little bit thicker than the one that you have when you roll it out. Probably make the diameter about 3.5 centimeters because it's going to go on the bottom and be the serving dish part. Okay, you flip the other one over now, and then you grab the smaller one that you just rolled and put it on the bottom of the one that you just flipped over. And I found the best tool for doing this is my thumb. Other people use pens and any circular thing. Well, I can never get that right. It always leaves a crease or something. But my thumb, if I just press down on the middle where the clay is on the bottom, and it just pops up. And then I just keep going until I have the size of the dish that I want, and then I smooth it out. To smooth the rim of the plate, you want to get a paintbrush with some acetone and just gently rub against it. If you want to push harder on the rim of the plate, you need to put your finger under the edge like I'm doing here and use your paintbrush and your acetone and just rub harder so that it smooths out a lot better. Now it's time to sort out the bottom of the base. You flip it over very carefully and you grab your X-Acto knife and you start slicing along the edge of that second piece that you put on the base just to make it go in line with the serving plate. Then grab a ball tool and start smoothing it into the plate so that it looks like one piece, not two separate pieces. Trim the edges with your knife if you feel you need to. Very carefully flip it back over so that you can get your paintbrush with some more acetone and blend the base of the serving plate into the top so that it looks like one smooth piece. Then you bake the dish following the directions. This is what it will look like once you put the face on the baked serving plate. You use the Sculpey fairy mold. Grabs the colour of the clay that you want to put in. A third, fill the face mold. Make sure you squeeze it in so the eyes and the nose and that are filled. Then you put it in the freezer for 10 minutes and she pops out. And then you poke her eyes in so you can put some eyeballs in there. Put some good old bacon bond on the back of the face and place it onto the baked platter and gently press it down, trying not to break it. I also opened her mouth a little bit so that I could fit the snake tongue in her mouth. Then you grab whatever colour clay you want the eyes to be, roll it into 2 little balls and put it in the eye sockets, and also put some pupils in there. For the snake tongue to put in her mouth, you just grab whatever colour clay you want. Again, I just grabbed some scrap clay, and the base of it will be joined together, but the tip of it will be split in two like a snake tongue. When you are happy with the tongue, place it inside the mouth that you should have opened with the ball tool, and gently press it down into the mouth to stick it in there. You can also use bacon bond to help you out in this, but I just smushed it in there. Even Medusa needs to breathe, so open up the nostril holes as well, and then make sure that that tongue is in there pretty good, otherwise it will fall out if it's not in there. And that's what it looks like. See, I changed the colour of her eyes. I preferred the black with the white pupils. I think it went better with the tongue. I found this tool in my collection. It's kind of like a V-shaped tool that I thought would be perfect for making the scales on top of her head. But just find anything you can, or even use your X-Acto knife or your needle tool. Pick out the colour of the snakes that you want. You can have one colour or all sorts of colours. Roll the clay into a snake shape. Obviously the top is thicker than the bottom, and it's kind of got a little bulbous head. Make its nose holes and also its eye holes, and if you really wanted to, you could stop right here, but I got my little V-shaped tool again and made some more scales. Make some teeny tiny little eyeballs. Then you make a little mouth hole if you want to put the snake tongue in there, and you make the snake tongue the same way you made Medusa's snake tongue, only a lot smaller. Then you squish that tongue into the mouth and make sure it's in there pretty good, and you're done with the snake there. Decide the placement of the snake on your Medusa head and get some Sculpey bacon bond and put it where the important parts are that you want it to stick, and put the snake on it. And then do that lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of times to get lots of snakes. I had this netting in my bag of tools, and you can also use that to get the snake skin on the snake if you don't have any other tools. You just push down on it a couple of times and you get the snake skin. Then you colour her scales. I got a mint coloured Pearl-Ex that looked pretty good on her scales. And then you also put the same colour, just splattering over the snakes as well. Then you colour her face any way you want. I used a pearl coloured white to colour her face. Pearl-Ex. The great thing about Pearl-Ex is it has some beautiful colours, it's not very expensive, and a little goes a very long way when you're making miniatures. You can also colour her lips using pink or red or whatever colour, and her cheeks. Do whatever you want to do. This is your Medusa. When you are done colouring her, you bake her for however long you usually bake her. I usually bake them at about 90 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so. And I usually do it for about an hour, hour and a half. They don't burn and they cook really well. Then when she is baked and all cool, you get some of your Sculpey Gloss Glaze and put it on the snakes and all over her face, and she looks pretty darn good. If you want to see more of these miniature polymer clay videos and other things, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.